I am an avid believer that equality, in particularly gender equality, starts at home. It doesn't start in organizations. It doesn't start by governments. There we go, sorry. It doesn't start by governments. It starts in our own homes. The VU University Medical Center in Amsterdam, they released a journal on gender identity development in adolescence. And what they found is an individual's sense of being either a male or a female is predominantly determined by the way they get treated by others. Based on their external experiences, boys and girls quickly understand that there are a difference between being a boy and being a girl. These differences and assigned roles based on sex is known as gender binary and becomes an unquestioned rationale for many ideas about what a girl or a boy can do and what a woman and a man can do. It is from a very, very young age that boys and girls learn their roles or their place in society. And this is very good news for us, because that means that gender equality starts at home. And that means that we in this room can be the instruments of change. It means that we can change, we have the power to change the outlook for the next generation of women. A generation where girls are not discriminated against, are not exploited, are not forced into early marriages, but where women's full and effective participation are recognized by all levels. And why does this matter? Someone asked me the other day, you keep going on about gender equality, why does it matter? It matters because it's a fundamental human right. That's why it matters. And if you unlock the value of the girls and women in the world, you unlock half of the value of the population, because girls and women are half of the population in the world. So by keeping that and not unlocking that, we're doing economic development a great disservice. I absolutely love this billboard. I don't know if anyone has seen it. It was an old billboard, and I'm sorry if it's not very clear, that was done by the Body Shop. And if you look at the top, it says, "Meet Alex, future sports star, prime minister, inventor, entrepreneur, and philanthropist." And very small in brackets, shown here with her brother, Chris.
Oh, wow.
And what this ad does effectively is showing you the gender stereotyping that not only us, because myself also immediately thought they're referring to Alex as the boy, but what advertising often does. Because in advertising, boys are shown as superheroes and as leaders, and girls are shown as very sweet, wearing pigtails and quite sensitive. And we all make that mistake because we've been conditioned in such a way. But we should forgive ourselves, because contemporary society is just beginning to realize that men and women's respective equal roles are extremely important and valuable. Only by us in this room effectively challenging stereotyping, we can help our children overcome the lessons they may have learned or are learning through advertising or the news or their friends. There was a very big news story towards the end of last year, September 2018. Most of us know the beauty conglomerates, Revlon Inc. Revlon has found their ways into our beauty stands, into our homes and on our nightstands for more than a decade. So in 2018, Revlon announced that for the first time, they have employed a female CEO. So the 86-year-old business, beauty business, that we support, for the first time now will have a female CEO. Her name is Deborah Perelman, and it is a great accomplishment. I feel it's late, but it's a great accomplishment for her. And she will join a very small number of women running large publicly held companies. There are 24 women currently sitting on top of Fortune 500 companies. 24. And unfortunately, that number has decreased from 2017 to 2018. So what that says to us, and what that tells me, is that the struggle continues. And I firmly believe that the solution lies with us, because it takes me back to gender equality that starts at home, where women, single or married, mothers, influencers, decision makers of your home, decision makers of your business, of Fortune 500 companies. It is us who have the power to teach our children about gender equality, where gender equality doesn't receive an award, isn't a big presentation, but it is the norm, where the dreams of Alex is the norm, and where one day, I hope, our children's children possibly are going to say to us, what do you mean? There were only 24 CEOs, but there are now 360. And I hope that is going to happen. The UN made a powerful statement that I'd like to share with you. They said, gender equality is not only a fundamental human right, but a necessary foundation for peaceful, prosperous, and a sustainable world. Providing women and girls with equal access to healthcare, equal access to education, equal access to decent world, changes the future of development. We have the ability to represent our communities in political and economic decision making. We need to get involved with our children's school to ensure that there is gender equality as a norm in our children's schools. We need to get involved with our groups at your local areas to ensure that gender equality becomes the norm. The power lies with us, because the gender equality starts at home. As women, we have a voice, and in our personal capacity, our personal careers, we are responsible for building strong women. Because when we teach the girls to stand up and say when they ask them, and I'll tell you a story. We launched a children's home in Kailicha, and they asked the little boys and the little girls, what are you going to become when you grow up? And it is interesting to hear that already at such a young age that there is stereotyping happening, where the girls are sort of standing back, doing much more female stereotype roles, where the men became firemen, but also Superman. And I am proud to say to you that at Burger King South Africa, we employ 75% of our workforce are women. And 43% are heads of departments. 36% are district managers, are women. It is numbers that we can improve on, but I'm extremely proud to tell you that we, as a company, employ women who's never worked before. They've never had jobs before. And we do skills training to ensure they are able to speak to customers, because you must remember in your first job, it was quite nerve-wracking. Especially in our industry, they are customer-facing. And further to that, Burger King South Africa has now been accredited that we offer 13 courses, ranging from customer care to generic management. There's a 12-month course that we do at Burger King South Africa for anyone, but particularly for me, for the women. Since Burger King launched in 1954 by university classmates, it has always been about the authenticity of people and product that has been the success behind this global brand. From the way the patties are flame grilled, from the produce that are freshly cut in the restaurants. It has always been that we want our guests to feel good about our food. It is this philosophy that has developed a trust in taste policy, which is not a PR policy. The trust in taste policy is an internal policy to ensure every Burger King restaurant globally, if you are going to Madrid or you're going to South Africa, serves 100% pure beef. No antibiotics, no hormones, no steroids, no GMOs, no trans fat, no preservatives, no artificial flavors, no artificial colors or ingredients. This is what we strive for at Burger King. It is not an easy journey being part of a quick service industry, because we have a multitude of suppliers that we had to convince that in order to serve good food fast, we can do without all these added banned now ingredients. And we've walked this journey with our suppliers that in order for us to launch a new product in South Africa, new ingredient, we have to adhere to the trust and taste policy. And you can imagine, even from binding or from sources, what a difficult process this has been. Launching a global brand in South Africa has been tough, but rewarding challenge. We came into the country 5 years ago against well-known legacy players. I heard McDonald's was mentioned earlier, KFC, you all know. And it has been rewarding because even though we're part of a global brand, we have the ability to launch local flavors and to work with companies like Studio H to bring in new flavors and drinks for us on our menu boards. In South Africa, we introduced, and it was a very long process because we wanted to make sure that it's a boerewors burger based on what a boerewors is, not a flavored patty. It's a very big difference. And we worked with the right suppliers in order to do that. And then we decided we have to have caramelized onions on it, and we have to have chutney. And I can tell you how interesting it is to explain to people all the way in Madrid in the US what chutney is. And some of the questions that came back is, are you putting fruit on a burger? And I actually must tell you that fruit is not a no. That we'll go through a process. We have a concept methodology, we have a concept test, we have a market test, we have a taste test. And if an apple burger for say, is something our consumers want, we will at Burger King launch an apple burger and have the ability to launch an apple burger in 2019. It could be a good idea, so you may see it. And that brings me to our very much latest and a very successful launch that we've had, the Milk Tart Milkshake. I don't know if anybody has had it. Not yet. Today, well, we'll see. So the Milk Tart Milkshake launched in September last year. And after we performed research into consumer buying behavior, we spent time working out with our development team if this was the right milkshake to launch. When we tasted it, we knew we had a winner. And we sat together with the team and decided which chef will be the right chef to critique and test, and should we get an international chef? No, we've got to keep it local, so we're getting a local chef. And then Brittany, our PR manager, who is here, or maybe she's outside, but she came up with a brilliant idea. And she said, the people who own Milk Tarts are not the chefs, no offense, but are our omas, our grandparents. And if we would like to have our Milk Tart Milkshake critique, we need to get a lot of omas and opas in the room and hear what they say. And that's what we did. So we contacted an old age home, we gave them our nutritional information, we gave them the ingredients, we got them okay, and they said, bring it. And we went and we tested it. And it was so amazing that they gave us the thumbs up. And our entire marketing campaign came from the omas, who gave us the thumbs up. We further to that then, as the campaign developed and creative agency got involved, we invited two musicians, Patsy Monroe and Craig Lucas, and we asked them if they can please record taking or bringing their omas into a Burger King and testing the Milk Tart Milkshake. And this is what they've done. And I would like to share two videos with you because they're both really sweet, which I hope is going to work. If I go back. So initially, when we launched the Milk Tart Milkshake, it was only going to be for a limited time. So in QSR quick service restaurants, we sometimes only launch products that last for about 3 months. It's a limited time offer and we bring it back. And we then got an overwhelmingly response on social media, and our social media team said there is no way you can only launch this for a limited time. We got the Business Insider journalist who were all testing it, who wrote this article, who said you cannot take it off the menu. So we've decided to keep it as a permanent menu item. And this is a very cute quote that I thought was very sweet. It says, "I've just tried the milk tart milkshake and oh my soul, it's delicious. Please keep it forever." And that is the success of launching a local flavor that South Africans love. And I must tell you, it was a very, very simple brief. We basically said we would like to take a very well-known, popular flavor and we want to sell it at a Burger King. We didn't say in which category, should it be in a burger or desserts or a snack. That's all we said. And the result was the milk tart milkshake. And I feel a little bit, tiny little bit like Oprah, because I want to say that you're all going to taste it right now after questions, because I wrote in the operations team that is outside and told them they're not allowed to attend because it's only for women. It's very sexist, it's just a joke. But we asked them to please come and make the milk tart milkshake. So I hope you guys will enjoy it.